Welcome to Coach's Corner. My name is Caden Watson, and today I'm joined with Mr. Jurowski, head coach of the track and field team here at Lincoln High School. Start with some questions. First off, how's the weather been affecting your preparation for these early season meets?
Well, it's been tough. I think I've been here at Lincoln High School for 25 years, and I would say that this is probably, if not the worst weather, it's close to the worst weather that we've experienced to start the season. A lot of training indoors and making adjustments, but the kids have had a pretty good attitude about it, and really appreciative of that, and hopefully now that we're getting closer to May, the weather will start to pick up.
Next, through the first couple meets, how's the team performed?
Really well. Our girls are a really strong team, and I knew that coming in, and I knew that our girls were going to be in a position to compete for the state meet, state title at the state meet, and overall excited with how they're progressing and how they're becoming, and our boys are kind of impressed me. I knew that they were going to be young coming into the season. Have a lot of sophomores and juniors that are going to be on our varsity relay teams, and they've kind of stepped up sooner than I thought, and they're putting us into a position in which I feel like we can be successful at the state meet with those guys as well.
Great. What events have been the most reliable to do well in so far?
So far on the girls' side, Allie Bainbridge is certainly one of the top athletes that we've ever had coming through Lincoln High School. She's going to the University of Nebraska next year to run track and cross country. Her events are outstanding. Her mile and her 2 mile, and then Diamond Naven in the sprints, or excuse me, the hurdles, and then Linnea Neschheim in the sprints with Ellen Merkley. So we covered quite a few areas on the girls' side, and on the boys' side, Griffin Fisher is doing amazing. He's just a sophomore. He's gone 10.8 in the 100 and 21.7 in the 200, and so we're looking for good things from Griffin, and then it's kind of just all kinds of kids are just kind of stepping up and performing really well for us.
Lastly, do you think this group has potential to compete for a state championship on both the girls and the boys side?
I think for sure the girls do. I think it's going to come down between us and Brandon, and O'Gorman's making some strides. I've noticed a few times that they've had, so I think it's going to be a 3-team race on the girls' side, and I think that we're close. And our boys, if things fall the right way, I think that we can get there, but I'd say that we're a year away from competing for a state title realistically, but I do think that our goal of top 4 should be something that we have as a boys' team.
Awesome. Thank you for your time today.
Appreciate it.
Tune in next time for Coach's Corner.
Thank you.
Welcome to today's Coach's Corner. I'm Caden Watson.
I'm Nolan Slade
with LHS Game Day Productions, and we are joined with Coach Krueger of the boys tennis team. First off, how's the weather affected your preparation for the season up to this point?
Well, we've done more shoveling than we've been playing so far. We started out 3 weeks pretty much solid of shoveling, got a couple courts ready, started a couple challenge matches. Normally we have 8 courts and we can have 16 kids playing at a time, and this year it's been quite a bit different, just with 2 courts, and then we have 4 courts, and now we're up to full 8, so it's really slowed us down quite a bit.
What are your thoughts on this season so far?
So far the kids have been playing great. The toughest competition we've had so far has been Harrisburg, and they played really well. We had a couple of close matches, and they really came through. So far we've had a really nice start to the season.
On a game day, what do you do to get ready for a match, and how do the players prepare?
Pretty much we have a kind of a running, stretching routine that we go through, and then we also have a hitting routine that kids do to kind of get their bodies warmed up and loosened up and ready to play, and usually talk to them right before they go out against the competition, and then let them have at it.
How many matches have you had so far this season, and what were the results?
That's 6 so far, and we are 6-0. Haven't lost a match. You have 9 matches, 6 singles, 3 doubles, and so for a total of 9 points each match, and we haven't lost even a single match yet. So we're 9-0 in all 6 of our starts so far.
That's good.
Who are the key players for the season?
Rocky McKenzie, Drew Goal, River McKenzie, those are my top 3. But everybody's key in tennis. I've got Arthur and Chris Tao, Jacob Husser. All 6 of those combine equally for points every time you play. So you've got your big dogs that are playing at the top, but you get just as many points for number 6 as you do for number 1. So everybody is key, and being deep as we have been for the last several years really makes a big difference, because we get that many points down below too.
And finally, coming off an 8 straight state championship, do you expect to compete for a 9?
Hopefully, yeah, we lost just our number 1 guy, Drew, Gage Goal, graduated last year. Hopefully we've got what it takes. A couple of the other teams have lost some of their top players just by injury or not wanting to play anymore, doing something different, so that weakens them. But I think we've got a good shot again this year, hopefully.
All right. Well, thank you for your time with us today and answering a few questions for Coach's Corner.
Thank you very much, guys.
Alright, hi, I'm Nolan, and I'm with the Game Day Production Team. I'd like to start out by thank you for helping us with Coach's Corner and answering a few questions with this interview.
Absolutely.
Alright, how many matches have you had so far, and how were the results of those matches?
Well, the weather's not been too great so far. Probably heard the same thing from the other coaches as well. We've had 1 varsity meet, 1 junior varsity meet. Varsity meet was last Thursday. At Spring Creek, we had 13 teams there. We finished 4th. Played pretty well. Pretty pleased with the way we performed on our first time out. Without 2 of our seniors that were unable to compete due to CTE classes. The JV had their first meet yesterday, and they're in first place. So we've had pretty good outcomes so far.
Alright, how do you feel about this season, and what are your plans for success this season?
We're cautiously excited, I guess would be the best way to say it. I think we're as deep as we've been in quite a while. We probably have anywhere from 8 to 10 kids that could compete in a varsity meet and be comfortable. So that's a nice feeling to have, where you have enough kids should be able to post a representative score, so that's good. What we're doing to try to ensure our success is we're just trying to stay the course that we stayed. We do a lot of the same things because it's both Coach Halseth and I work together in the fall with the boys, and the practices are very similar. We just try to get things. We try to work for half hour on different things, and then have groups move around, and it's good for continuity.
Alright, how do you think, or is there any way for the team to improve?
Oh, we can absolutely improve. There's no doubt that we can improve. I think our upside was what makes us really excited about what we could be this year. I think we could potentially be maybe top 4 in the state, possibly higher if we play up to our potential, which is a nice feeling to have. We haven't been there in a while, so it's exciting.
Alright, what are your goals for this season, and how will you achieve those goals?
Goals are just to try to, what we tell the kids every day is, you want to get better every day you're out there. You're out there working on, you're picking out something you want to work on that day. We want to be better than we were the day before. It's not necessarily competing against other people as much as you're competing against yourself, trying to get better. And that's just focusing on the small things and the details we're asking them to do in practice, whether it be focus on making 5-foot putts, if it's working on the short game around the green, because that's where probably 60% of the shots are taken in any given round, and just stay basically trying to stay where your feet are, so you're not thinking about next week, you're not thinking about last week, you're thinking about what you're working on right now.
Yeah. And finally, what will you do to get ready for your next meet, and how do your players prepare for it?
How do we go? It's more just practicing. There's not a lot of change in what we do. We'll work on short game. We'll work on putting. We go to the range and get some work different aspects of the game out there, whether it be with the higher clubs or the lower irons. Just to try to work on specific yardages. What do they do to get ready for a match? They're all unique, so some they do different things. Some of them get juiced up, do different things. it's more just, it's hard to say what they do, because we don't, it's not as team oriented as far as like a basketball or football.
Well, we would like to thank you for your time, Mr. Amundson, and answering questions for the Coach's Corner.